Hi guys, Brenda Hillard here at Create with Brenda. My website is createwithbrenda.com and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. If this is your first time joining me, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Just a few little shop notes and then we'll get started on this fun project. Um, if you've watched my videos before, thank you. And I'm glad you're back. I hope you enjoy my projects. All right, so this is a crazy thing that happened. Last weekend, my husband and I went to a shop. There's a railroad shop called the Northern Pacific, and it was an actual shop, and now they've turned it into shops, Shoppes. And there's a candy store there called Goodies, and I found these Stroopwafels. They're a Dutch treat, and this is a caramel. But I am telling you, they are so good. So is what it is it's a soft toasted waffle filled with caramel, cinnamon, and real bourbon vanilla. And what you do is um, when you open it up, and I don't want to open it right now, but it's round like this, and it just fits perfectly when you take it out of the wrapper over the top of your coffee cup. And you let it warm, or your teacup, whatever, let it warm, and then it gets all soft and the caramel is melted and chewy and gooey, and it's so good with that cinnamon and bourbon vanilla. So anyway, I saw these at Goodies and I bought some of them, obviously. And um, then I was watching some videos, just looking for some cute packaging ideas. And lo and behold, if Rhonda Wade didn't do a box that fits a Stroopwafel. It's like I had never even heard of these until last weekend. And then wham, twice in 1 week. So here we are. I'm going to share that fun box with you too. And I want to tell you that I was going to be a little bit I was reserved about even doing this because I didn't want everybody to know about Stroof waffles being at Goodies, because then all of a sudden they're gone and then you need this delicious treat. But I found out too that you can order them on Amazon. So then it was like, okay, I'll share it and there'll be plenty to go around. So let's start. You can see I've been working on my penguin projects. I have my whole little pile of black glitter penguins. Aren't they cute? We'll be putting one on our project. So is what you're going to need is a piece of, and I chose again fresh freesia, and it measures 5.5 by 8.5. I have a 1-inch by 12-inch strip of the, now this is the celebration paper, you guys, so you have to do a $50 product purchase to get this free. But this is the Penguin Playmates Designer Series paper, and I have a 1 by 12-inch strip. I have a 1 1/4 by 4 1/4 strip, and that's the same paper, just, different design. And then I also have a piece of, do I remember what this is? Yes, it is I want to make sure I tell you correctly, 2 inches by 4 1/4. Okay. So then is what I chose to do was I did a die cut from the, let me grab it so I could show you which one it is. And I thought I had it over here. Yeah, I do. It's right here. Sit down and relax, Brenda. I've been creating, and when I do that, my mind just goes crazy. So from the scalloped contour dies, I chose this second die. It's kind of one of my favorites. And I'll show you why. So when you die cut these out, this is open. So like if you want to put, let's say you wanted to put a piece of, like if you wanted to just slide the cardstock through, you can. If you want to put ribbons around there, you can. It's just kind of it's really a cool die. All right, so let's zoom in here a little bit so we can see what we're all doing. All right. And then I have just this little scrap piece of basic white. And what else did I have? Oh, I liked the idea of putting this little white, um, basic white cardstock in there with some of the snowflakes just to brighten it up a bit. Because all of a sudden I felt like I was getting a lot of fresh freesia. And this little baby, this goes in eighths, guys. Sorry, I hate that when I do that. Um, this is 1 5/8 inch wide by 2 5/8 inch long. All right. So let's start out by scoring. I'll show you how to score and cut for this box. So I'm going to bring in the trimmer, and you have to have the arm on the trimmer extended, and you know how to do that, right? You just pull out, and then it slides in this little groove. Okay, so I'm going to pull out the arm, and I'm going to make sure I use my scoring tool because earlier I cut instead of scored, but I was able to use the piece to make all of these little pieces that I need for my projects. I'm making a whole bunch of these boxes to share with my paper pumpkin group that's coming tomorrow. So I'm going to score at 1/2 inch on the long side. I'm going to turn it around, and I'm measuring from right here and 1/2 inch here. Then I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to score at 2 1/4 and 2 3/4. I'm going to score at 6 1/2 and 7. Okay, so that's all of our scoring. Now, let's bring in our bone folder. And um, whenever you do these 3D projects, you always want to have a really good crisp fold. So we'll do the 1/2 inch sides first. We'll go just like this. And then we'll do our crosswise score lines. You guys, I'm so excited about these Stroopwafels. Just wait until if you try them, you're going to see exactly what I mean because they are delicious. All right, so now we have to cut out some stuff. So when your box goes together, this bigger piece here is going to be at the bottom, and then this is going to be your top flap. So is what we want to remove right now is just these little rectangles, and you'll see once I cut them away that it forms the flap on our box, okay? Oh, I just caught myself sticking out my tongue when I was cutting. They always say that's a good sign of being relaxed. So I guess I'm relaxed, all right? So that's what it looks like with these little rectangles gone, but we still have a little snipping to do. So I'm going to snip here, just up to the score line. And I'm going to do that on both sides. So here, here, and here. Okay. So now that we have this laying down, when the box goes together, these little flaps are going to fold in, and then this is going to go over the top like that. Okay. And we're going to adhere those on the outside of the box. But before we do that, let's put on our designer series papers. So this is where we're going to bring in that 2 by 4 1/4 inch piece, and using our liquid glue. I love this side of this paper too. I made shouldn't even say kind of. It was a really pretty, oopsie. That's okay because, yeah, we're going to be gluing down on there anyway. All right. So we're going to glue our designer series paper. That's what I was saying is I made a really cute card using the, oh, you know, that cabin set. I think I have a video out there, so go out and look for it. But it's got that tree background and the cabin, and oh, it's just, I think it's called Peaceful something. Anyway, all right. So here's our 1 1/4 by 4 1/4 inch strip. I'm going to add some adhesive to that, or some of our glue, adhesive, whatever you want to call it. And then I'm going to put that on the flap here. All right, we'll give that just a minute to dry. And then our next step is going to be tear and tape. Now this comes on a roll. It goes far. It lasts a really long time. And I'm going to see, I want that on the inside flap. So on the bottom part of your box and on the inside of that flap, because remember how I showed you how it's going to fit like over the top. So we'll put that on. And this tear and tape can be found in my online store too. Let's see. Looking for my Take Your Pick tool. Here it is. And this works really well for picking up that wax paper because the tear and tape is that two-sided tape, and it's a really strong adhesive, which works well for 3D projects. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold in those flaps. I'm going to bring up the bottom of my box, and I'm just going to set it down. I'm going to push it down to my countertop, and then I can adhere the sides of my box. Okay, so that's going to form the bottom. So now here goes that delicious Stroopwafel. And like I said, if you live near Brainerd, the Northern Pacific Shops, there's a candy store called Goodies, and she's got these there, and oof, they're so good. And so that's how our box is going to go. And I'll show you how we're going to keep it closed, okay? So remember, we had that 1 by 12-inch strip of designer series paper. So what I'm going to do is just put that right underneath my box like this. And I'm going to add some tear and tape. We're going to make what they call a belly band here. So I'm just going to add, because it'll cross over. So you don't have to be exact, but just make sure that it stays inside, that there's nothing hanging over, because we don't want it to stick to our box, okay? So there's the backing off from our tear and tape. And then I'm just going to bring this around. And we want it tight enough that it stays on, but we don't want it so tight that you can't slide it on and off the box. And you want to position your paper so that, and I guess it's not that important because you can move it, you can slide it. But you want your seam to be in an area that's going to be covered when we put our medallion on, okay? So I'm just going to slide this up a little bit because remember, that's what's going to hold our flap. All right. And our next step is ribbon. And I had a really hard time. It was like, on this one, you can see that I used it's the new glittered organdy ribbon. It's like the black, only it's white, and it's absolutely beautiful. And you can see how shiny it is. So it was like, should I use the white ribbon? Or should I use the black ribbon, the black and white gingham, to bring out the black on the penguin? So I decided to go with the white on this one. But let's do the black and white on this one, and then we can decide, we can do one of those this or that and see. I'll put that out on my Facebook page. This or that for the ribbon, okay? But honestly, once people taste that Stroopwafel, they aren't even gonna really, the packaging is gonna go to the side, and they're going to be loving, loving, loving their taste treat. Okay, so let me grab my ribbon scissor. We'll get that a little snip and we'll shorten this end up just a touch. Good. And now let's work on our medallion. Okay, so we're going to bring in our die cut piece. Remember, that was from the scalloped contour dies. And I want my little piece of basic white. But before I put that in, I want to stick a little bit on there. And I'm going to grab the snowflakes from the Penguin Place bundle. Remember, the bundle is the stamp set and the punch. How cool is that? But we're going to use these little snowflakes. And right here with my fresh freesia, and I either want my silicone mat, and I had it here just a moment ago, and now I don't see it. So let me grab my Stampin' Pad. That'll help with our photopolymer. I'm going to ink this up, and I'm going to do some snowflakes just at the top here, and a couple on the sides. All right, so there's our snowflakes using the fresh freesia. That color is just so pretty. It's not pink. It's a lavender, kind of a pinky lavender shade. It's beautiful. So I'm going to add some liquid adhesive onto my little piece here that I just stamped, and I'm going to set that right in the middle of my die. Give that just a minute. And I'm going to take one of my adorable penguins. And if you want to know how to make the penguins, go look at the title of the video is the Penguin Place bundle. So check that out there. And I want some full-size dimensionals. And actually, do you know, I don't use these very often, but I was working on some Halloween projects earlier. Do you know that these come in black? So you can actually have like the black on black dimension. I think that's cool. Like I said, I don't think of them very often, and we've had them for a while. So now I'm just going to set him in here, or her, whatever you want to call her. And then to finish this off, I want to take just a scrap strip, a 1/2-inch strip of basic white. And I don't know why I got rid of that because I need it. I'm going to bring in my Misty Moonlight, and I'm going to stamp that little sentiment that I think is just the cutest. It says, "I like you a lottle." It just sounds like something a penguin would say, doesn't it? So there it is. "I like you a lottle." And these little letters just stamp so nice. Like, look how good that is. I just love it. All right. So then I'm going to take my paper scissors and I'm going to snip these at an angle. It just gives it a little visual interest, right? Isn't that what we're always going for? And then on this piece, again, I'm going to take some of my full-size dimensionals. I'll take 2 of them. Put one on each end. Like that. Now, we want to make sure that this piece just gets attached to the belly band so that they can open their box, okay? So, to do that, I'm going to take a couple more dimensionals, and I'm just going to put one right here and right here on the belly band. Take the backings off, and then put this right on my box. Oh my gosh, you guys. So now what? Is it this with the glittered organdy? Or is it this with the black and white gingham? I don't know. It's a toss up. But look at all my little penguins. I've got some work to do. So my monthly host code is right up here. You can find all of my specials at createwithbrenda.com. And it's time for me to go and get busy with all of my little penguins. Have a great day. Bye-bye.